fell in love with poetry when I was in 7th grade, and I realized that that was a way of expression for me.
I fell in love with poetry when I heard Big Pun's first release track in Puerto Rico.
I fell in love with poetry when I met this 5'1" brown skinned, caramel complected goddess.
I fell in love with poetry when I saw people's reactions when I spoke my words and spoke my feelings and spoke my thoughts.
I think it's popular among African Americans in general because it's so closely related to our historical oral tradition and our historical musical traditions.
Spoken word is very popular among African Americans if you drop off the American term and look back where it came from its source, Africa.
The origin of spoken word can be broken down into a simple math equation. Was tonal and the spoken art served to connect the individual with the group. A literary movement in the 1920s and was an early manifestation of the black consciousness in the U.S. Was an era of angry poetry that went against the grain of American culture. Was an artistic branch of the Black Power movement where activism was delivered through poetry. Spoken word became very popular in the 1980s and 90s and has characteristics of each of these eras. Spoken word can be defined in many ways depending on the artist.
Spoken word is the act of using your raw emotions and your written words to change the masses.
It's that feeling you get when you know something's wrong and you want to tell the truth, but you don't tell the truth. And you have to tell the truth. So that's basically what that spoken word poetry is.
It's a voice. It's a voice for those who may not be able to say how they feel or they're too afraid to express themselves.
For me, I know that something I said can change, maybe change someone's life, or maybe, you know, make a difference to someone, or they hear something and say, man, I never thought life was like that. Let me maybe think of it this way.
I started writing in middle school. Like, my inspiration to write was guided by just the beauty of the place I lived in at the time. I lived, you know, in a very tropical and beautiful place. Trying to find that same beauty here, and that's where my writing comes from.
Spoken word is not poetry. I repeat, spoken word is not poetry. It's speaking prophetically on keeping everyone needing words on repeat daily. Insane speaking, providing opportunity entirely to reach you.